Hey, everybody. Welcome. I keep forgetting that we have that little beginning thingy, and it's so
so
cute.
cute. I forgot about it too, and I was like, "That's adorable."
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Tomato Talk Live. I'm Lauren,
I'm Jen.
and we come to you on the first Friday every month to talk tomatoes. Welcome, those of you watching on Instagram. I've been given this feedback lately. Streaming to Instagram is a relatively new thing, and I'm very grateful for it. Jen and I both are. But unfortunately, if you're watching on the gram, we can't see your comments. So if you think we've been ignoring you, it's because we can only see from YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully that will change, although I think we may be looking at a new platform coming up because StreamYard has doubled the cost, I found out today.
Yeah.
So we may
What
be
the
coming
heck,
to you from something else.
StreamYard? I
What
was
the heck,
just getting this
StreamYard is
thing
right.
figured out.
I've been using them for years. But anyway, that's not important. We're glad you're all here. We're a live interactive broadcast. We often have special guests, but tonight, Jen and I, last month in August, we were just talking like end of season stuff, Jen and I. And right at the end of the episode, we just happened to ask, like, does anybody have any questions for us regarding growing tomatoes? And what happened, Jen?
We got a lot of questions, and then we had to go.
We had a lot of questions and we had to go. So we thought we would have a Q&A tonight. Anything you want to ask us at all, please join us. We do, I always forget this, our wonderful John Kramer member, he's giving away a $25 gift card to one of our favorite vendors, tomatoeden.net tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So type
And
in
you can
hashtag tomato.
You can get Tomato Jennifer there.
And tomato Lauren and tomato Kina.
Yeah.
And I'm told Tatiana said that there is a leprechaun Rob coming out, also named after my husband,
And you
Mr.
know I
Tomato
love
Head.
those leprechaun. They go with my Irish,
I was trying to explain to
theme.
Rob, I'm like, you being a leprechaun's a really big deal. He's
Yeah,
like,
it is. I love them. Yeah, they're very pretty and they're tasty too.
the funny thing too is he wears this really, really ugly Kelly green t-shirt to bed sometimes. And Riley and I, my daughter, will call him a leprechaun, which I kind of forgot until Rob reminded me that we call him leprechaun.
That's pretty cool.
But anyway, let's say hi to some of our viewers tonight. Olivia, hi Olivia, glad you're here. We I started talking about prizes. So if you'd like to win a prize, if you've never been here before, all you have to do is type in hashtag tomato in the comments. And at the end, I have to set up the giveaway.
Are you giving away anything? Did we even discuss it?
We didn't discuss it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we did. I'm like, I can give away something. I've got most of my seeds saved for this year, and I could give away like a couple of giveaways for like 5 of my most productive. Let's do that.
There you go.
My most productive ones gave me the most seeds.
I did start writing down a list of things I wanted to give away, like rare stuff. So I was talking bacon lettuce and this VD16, which was Malachite Elf, but now is VD16. I'll think of something. So Jen and I can each give away one thing, and then we've got John Kramer's big prize. How about that?
There's one I'm super pumped, and I could put this in the giveaways too. Kina gave me these seeds, and it's Menorah Lutein. I don't know. It's this really cool tomato, and it's from way back in the 50s.
Menorah Lutein.
Yes. Okay. See,
I have seeds for that. It's one of the
I grew
earliest
that, and
known
it
tomatoes.
was productive and gave me.
Oh, you grew it?
Oh, I grew it. Yeah.
Oh, I have the
I'm
seeds,
like,
but I've
I
not
got so
grown it.
many seeds for that. It is full of seeds. Like,
Yeah, I think it goes back to like the 1600s or something like that.
1500s, like
I
when
think so.
the tomatoes were first, like, and because it's like yellower in color,
Right.
and that's what the tomato, like when they first started eating tomatoes, it was not red, it was yellow.
It's like
Poma amor lutein, yeah,
which I think translates to
something
yellow apple. No, yellow love apple. I think it's yellow love apple.
Yeah, love apple. Yeah, because that's what they used to be called, were love apples.
It is. Get back to our comments.
Okay, sorry.
Here. What'd you say, Jen?
I said sorry.
that would be a good seed to give away for sure.
Got to keep that one going.
Yep. Hi, Sherman. Glad you're here. Hi, Jamie. At least for a bit before football starts. Who's playing tonight? Malachi Jen's here listening while I make soup for dinner. Excellent. Rowena's here. Hi, Rowena. Nerea is here.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see your names.
Michael Breyer, I see you putting in hashtag tomato a few times. You only have to do it once. It picks you up the first time. No need to keep doing it. But I hope you win. Good luck. Good luck. Moon Bladem. Hi everyone. Glad you're here. I discovered something new today. You young folks probably know about it already, but I host a Friday gratitude circle in my other group on Zoom, and a younger member told me about Threads, which is a part of Instagram. Michael, do you know? Yes, he's giving the thumbs up. So it's part of Instagram, but it's similar in format to like Twitter. So I thought I'd try it out. I went on there today and I put in hashtag tomato. Anybody, like tomatoes, and going live with my buddy Jen Joy tonight. And a couple people are like, yeah, I like tomatoes. We'll watch. So if you're joining us from Threads and you're new,
Oh,
welcome.
cool. Yes, hello.
Welcome.
So wait, you can see Michael?
Yes, you can.
It's not fair.
You know what? Probably because you joined as a guest
I
instead
feel
of
like we've
logging
had
in.
this conversation before. That's okay.
Well, you are on the official StreamYard team, but I don't think you log in as
No,
that.
I log in as like a guest, I think.
Right.
And then I'm backstage where you can bring me on
Yeah.
whenever you're ready for me.
Yeah. I mean, you do have the ability to log on. How you do that, I don't know, but I know Michael knows.
Yeah, I know when I'm going to go live myself.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm hoping to do soon.
Good.
If I can muster up the courage.
Oh, you silly. Everybody
I don't
loves
know what
you.
to do. I was thinking I could do. I have remember that big old bag of the beans and stuff that I got from the MMM swap?
Yeah.
Gosh, there's like tons of
Oh,
stuff.
do it.
I thought maybe I could, but I love how you like look up stuff and you put it on the screen. I need you as a tutor. But now that StreamYard's gonna like sweat, like we might not be using StreamYard
Well,
anymore.
we shall see. If I can't find anything that does exactly what we do here, I may have to suck it up and pay the $90 a month. It was
No,
$49.99 a month, and now it's going up to $89.99 a month. That's for the pro
ridiculous.
plan. And there are some people apparently that bought some kind of a lifetime membership thing that were guaranteed the prices would never go up, and they're not honoring it,
Oh,
which I think is really lousy.
I guess they're
But
gonna be gone.
I've
They're
loved
not.
StreamYard for years. I mean, Jen and I love it. It's really important to us to be able to see your comments on the screen. Maybe I'm looking up something called EV Mux. If anybody has used that, let me know. We want to stream to a couple places at once. We need it semi-dummy proof. And we want to bring you guys into the episode because that's part of the whole fun. Hi,
Yeah.
Eva. Glad you're here. Sasha
Sandra
randomly
B.
here. Huh?
Sandra B says your hair is amazing. It does look
Thank
really good.
you.
You just got it done, didn't you?
I did. And usually when I get my hair done, like my hairdresser will be like, "You going anywhere?" And I'm like, "No, just back home." But I'm like, "I've got a show tonight." So I've
Did
got
you
like
get your fairy dust in there?
I did, and I have to go back to my fairy. I haven't gotten the fairy done in a while.
Oh, really?
No, it's for those of you that don't know, it's called fairy hair. And I go to the Pennsylvania fairy hair girl who dresses like a fairy. She's awesome. And she it's not using any product or glue or anything. You ask her how she does it and she says it's magic, but she somehow weaves it in and it stays for months. It's really quite incredible. I get a lot of compliments on it. It's quite fun.
It's like tinsely, right?
It's tinsely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi Sherva. Glad
Hi,
you're
Sherva.
here. Kim L is here. Hi Kim.
Hello, Kim.
Lisa, my hair looks great. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Lots of hashtag tomato. Love the hair, Lauren. Very pretty. Thank you. Leprechaun Rob says Malachi Jen. I know. It's kind of crazy. She messaged me while I was away at my parents a couple weekends ago, just a picture, and the tag said Leprechaun Rob, and I didn't know what to make of it. And I said, "Does that say Leprechaun Rob?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "As in my Rob?" And she said, "Yes." So quite an honor. I told him, and he didn't realize how big leprechauns were. So why does he get the leprechaun?
Just lucky.
I
Just
bet there'll
lucky,
be
I
a
guess.
leprechaun Ben coming very soon.
Oh, I would just lose it. He'd lose it too. He wouldn't know what to do.
He'd get all full of himself, ask to give out autographs and all that stuff.
Probably. Yeah.
Hi, Anthony. Glad you're here. Welcome. So tonight, did I even say it? So tonight is going to be a Q&A of anything you want to ask us with us regarding tomatoes. So please feel free to put it in and we'll answer as best we can. We've already agreed that Jen and I aren't the best with diseases, but we will do the best we can.
But I got Google.
But we've got Google Michael backstage too.
In our experience. That's
In our
pretty much
experience.
what I am.
I'm experienced with I get diseases.
Yeah. Can I tell you what they are? Probably not.
Well, I think
mean,
I get septoria towards the end of the year.
that's the black spot stuff all over everything,
Yeah.
right? Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I got now too.
But it never kills off everything. It never like takes down an entire plant. Although I did get, I'm pretty sure, bacterial wilt on 2 of my plants this year, one of them being malachite box, which is my favorite, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's what I had with mine.
Yeah.
Got all brown and then like the whole plant was like dark brown.
Mine didn't get brown at all. It's just like half the plant wilts. And mine, like my malachite was 2 stems, half the plant just kind of wilts as if it hadn't had water in a very long time. So I cut that off and the other side looks good for a while and then that goes. And if you look up bacterial wilt, that's kind of the textbook thing of it. I don't know why it happens. It's not contagious. It didn't affect other plants. So that one I know. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha has our first question. Zone 7B. When do you take down your summer tomatoes for fall crops? Do you go by first frost or temperatures? What do you have to say, Jen?
I kind of go with the flow. Like this year has been rough for me. And last year, I can remember I was still getting tomatoes in October. So if the plant is still giving me tomatoes, and the plant still looks halfway decent, I'll leave it until the first frost. But like this year, like I said, it's been so rough. I'm going to start cleaning out beds just because I'm sick of looking at the disappointment.
Too painful to look at it. Yeah.
I have avoided going out there for probably 4 or 5 weeks now. Like I haven't even been, I went out yesterday and I was like, oh, look, there's tomatoes. I got these. Look at this. This is a Cazula.
Beautiful.
139, 137. I can't. It's one of the Cazulas. I posted on TLC with it yesterday and I was like, whoa, it just looks like psychedelic. Like it could blow your mind.
It looks like a sunburst.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff down there that it's not going to do anything. So I might as well clean it out.
Yeah.
But I think that's to each, again, like everybody can do things differently. Some people don't have the space where they can keep tomatoes, so they're going to have to clear out. So once they've got their fill of tomatoes and they want to do fall crops, but like a lot of people around here, they don't do fall crops.
Yeah.
Like I don't see anybody gardening in the fall and winter, but I was telling my boss the other day, I was just like, you plant any lettuce and kale and stuff? Because I know she's a big salad eater. And she's like, I don't really do that in the winter. I'm like, that's the best time to do those things. They taste so good, especially if they get frozen a little. Like
for sure.
So yeah, I've started that stuff, pulled out some things, and I'm gonna try cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower.
Oh gosh, I think I've given up on that.
I did get but they're all like pest riddled. But I got some of those filderkraut things over near my chicken coop. But I'm like,
you got what?
The filderkraut, the real weird one that Baker Creek was selling.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, it's like tall and it's cylindrical and it gets to a point. It's wild looking, but I don't know that I'll eat any of them.
Well, they're
so kind of weird. They're riddled with bugs and pests and like.
That's my problem. I get the cabbage moths, and I could spray DT on it. I try to do organic gardening, and I have in the past, but I just kind of can't be bothered. And they really do. I had one of my green stalks was full of Asian greens and kale at the beginning of the season. and they were just decimated. So I pulled those out, and now I have lettuce in there. For my tomato beds, the ones that had bacterial wilt earlier this summer, I did pull those out because they were too painful to look at. But in general, I kind of leave them. I don't have to switch them out. But yeah, my green stalk, as I mentioned, I've put in lettuce. I've taken out my deck railing planters. I have had a lot of micros that are dying back. So I'm going to I've started some kale. Scarlet kale I found doesn't get as many cabbage moths because they like to blend in with green. So the ones that are darker, like scarlet kale, not only are they really cold hardy, I've had some last through the winter before.
Oh yeah.
But the cabbage moths don't get that as
Swiss
much.
chard too. I've had a couple of Swiss chards that even though they get like damaged, like if it gets really cold, they still come back. Like
Yep, and the cabbage moths don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I've had some going all summer too.
And funnily enough, my bunny rabbits aren't touching it either.
Really?
I've got bunny rabbits all over now. It does look like they're munching down. I'm growing something called, is it Mizuno or
Mizuna, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind
And
of like a spinach, I think, right?
it's really frilly though. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's, yeah.
But yeah, I had a bunch of it grown. I started in the spring I started in the winter in jugs, and then I planted it all along the back of my chicken coop, and it went to seed, of course, before I was able to like harvest any of it. And so I saved some seeds, but it also dropped a bunch of seeds. Well, now there's a whole bunch like actually in the grass where I walk. So I was like pulling them out and shoving them in the beds, but I could see where somebody was having snacks on these little seedlings, and I'm like, I guess the rat, but they did that. I had right on the other side of the chicken coop, I had like a big old, I had like 3 or 4 Swiss chards that went to seed. Again, I saved some seeds, but of course they drop a ton. And so there's again a bunch in the grass and in the walkway, and they're not munched on. So they must not care for Swiss chard.
Interesting.
Now my bunny rabbit, Ellie, she loved Swiss chard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I pretty much grew it for her, but now I'm growing it for my chickens. Like we don't eat a whole lot of it, but
yeah,
it's good to have that kind of stuff to feed my chickens.
it's so hardy. I mean, it's not frost hardy, but it's really hardy. It lasts all summer in deep heat without water, which is something important to you and I. And it's beautiful. It's very nutritious. So, good question.
Yes,
Heidi
very good question.
Here. Hi, Heidi. Glad you're here. Thanks, Jamie. Loving the hair. We'll look bad again tomorrow, but without the gray in it. Hi, Terry. Thanks for being here. Hey, Michael. Glad you're here.
For some reason, I'm not getting all the comments that you're getting.
I'm back away. I don't know if you're caught up, but I'm trying to go in order here. Cindy C's here all the way from Philippines. Hi, Cindy. Oh, Green Bay and Philly. I should know that. My husband's a big Eagles fan. Go Eagles. Are you not getting all these? These were from 709. These are from like 10 minutes ago. That's how far behind we are.
I have total that I can read probably 15 comments through the whole thing. I don't know what's up. It's not.
Probably again because you're logged in as, no, I don't know. That shouldn't matter because I know when Craig is on, he's able to see them all. That's weird. Hi, Kathy. Glad you're here. Speaking of Craig, we've got something to announce, don't we?
Oh, he's coming next month. Yes.
Craig LaHoulier is coming back the first Friday of October.
He just loves hanging out with us.
Who can blame him? We love hanging out with him too. He's
oh my gosh, yes.
The best guest, and I know you all agree. And
he's so great.
He loves coming on and talking tomatoes with you all. He's just so informative.
I love listening to him.
Yeah, I mean, I could just sit there for the entire day, and I pretty much do.
That's what I pretty much do. I'm like at the end of it, I'm like, I didn't say hardly anything.
They don't want to hear us anyway. They want to hear
exactly. Him. Yeah, they want to hear him talk to him.
So he'll be back Friday, October 4th. And then Bill Yoder is planning on being back with us in December. And the first Friday of December is December 6th. So Mark your calendars.
I broke down and I
What?
bought seeds. Since he put his order back up, remember I told you I was like on a
Oh, did you?
no buy seeds thing? Well, I feel like I did good for a while. And then I was just like, no, I have to get some of that stuff.
That's right. You weren't going to
You
order
talked
seeds.
about it yesterday, and I was like immediately on his Facebook page. I was like, oh yeah, definitely got to get me some of that stuff.
If you guys missed the announcement, Bill Yoder is back again selling seeds. And yesterday, this is kind of exciting. Yesterday, he posted, he's released a new Duran Duran series. These are some of them.
All that when they're hungry like a
Hungry
wolf.
Like the Wolf.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday, he put these up, and none other than
Is that Blasphemous Rumors?
Blasphemous Rumors isn't Duran Duran. That's
okay.
Depeche Mode, I think.
Which one's
but
that
looks
one?
good. Save a Prayers, Duran Duran, New Moon on Monday, Notorious. So you can reach out to him on Facebook, but Duran Duran themselves commented on his post
Yeah, that's got to be
last
so
night.
cool.
They said something like, because I guess Rio is a cherry red, and there's a line in Rio that says cherry ice cream smile. I suppose you're very nice. And so they said, Rio is a cherry. We see what you did there, Bill. Like Duran Duran. Super cool.
That's got to be validating.
Yeah, seriously. And I bet you anything, it's a public post. I told Bill, I'm like, I bet you anything you're going to have all these Duran Duran fans who've never grown a tomato in their life want to be ordering seeds from you.
Yeah, I put my order in ASAP after that. I was like, oh no, me first.
They're just too beautiful. Terry says, Ken put up thumbs though. If you guys can like, I don't know.
Justin Arnold just said I can only see 15 comments as well.
Weird.
I wonder if it has to do with my Justin, are you watching on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, it will depend on which channel you're watching from. You will only be able to see comments that are in that channel.
Well, that's just
but
stupid.
you should be able to see them all, Jen.
I should be able to. I thought I was able to, but
Michael, are you seeing them all? Yep, he can. Our Joyful Days Canada. Hi, our Joyful Days. Thanks for being here. Sandra B, thank you. See this, I'm very far behind. Hi, Licia.
Yeah, you are. That's the one that I said, right? Yeah.
I know. I try to go in order so I don't miss anything. Lisa says your lives are great, Jen. I agree.
Oh, thank you.
And Sasha agrees. Yes, Jen. Yes, alive.
Okay. I want to do it. I do want to do it. I just.
Oh, Michael, are you starring things? Oh, good idea. He's starring some comments to make sure we see them. Hi, Harley, a swamp bitch.
Yeah, well, I can't see them, so.
A quick thank you to Lauren for her generous offers of seeds. We'll start Micropalooza soon. Curious which refractometer everyone uses. I've seen cheap to high dollars. Jean from Central Texas.
Well,
Jean, you are welcome. It's really a pleasure to share the seeds, but go ahead with the refractometer.
Oh, I have the cheap one that, like, I mean, but Lauren's got a real fancy digital one, don't you, Lauren?
I do. Well, I started with the cheap one. Santa Claus got me the cheap one last Christmas, and it was absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with it.
I enjoyed mine. I think it's really easy to use. It's. I mean, I was kind of stunned by how simple it is.
Do you have yours handy?
Yeah, I can grab it real quick.
All right,
guys, just hold on for me.
So mine is called. So I had the cheap one, and then even though I'm 55 years old, my parents still insist on getting me a birthday gift, which was back in July. And so I said, maybe a digital refractometer. So I put up one that I would never buy for myself because the cheap one was absolutely fine. But the one thing I had issue with is I would have loved to share the readings with you guys. And it's really tough in that one. Although I've noticed in your videos, you and Ben are able to do it somehow through the people.
He was like determined.
It's amazing how you do that.
I had to edit like 5 minutes out because he was not giving up. He's like, I could do it.
But you can see it. You can totally see it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's really neat. Like I was just and it says that you should wait like I think 30 seconds or 40 seconds or something when you put the juice on.
Right.
And I find you don't have to do that. I never wait. Like in the end, I wasn't waiting. I mean, I've got a lot of taste test videos I haven't edited yet, but Ben was like whining at me. He's like, you're supposed to wait. I'm like, well, it hasn't changed between 2 seconds and 40 seconds. So I'm pretty sure it don't matter if I wait or not. But yeah.
So
I
mine was,
forget how much this was, $12, $16.
they are. And I tell you, I've noticed like they, for the most part, they all look the same when they're looking like that. I don't think they really differ from one another. Mine was only like $12 to the
They
initial
probably
one.
all come from the same place, if you get my drift.
Yes, I do.
I did get a new tool. It's sitting right beside me. I know
What's
I said I was
that?
not supposed to be buying anything, but I thought that this would be helpful for me next year, considering I don't like to water.
Oh, I know what that is. I have one of those.
Yeah. And I went outside. We had like a whole bunch of rain. And when I got this in the mail and I went out and shoved it in the ground in like 4 different places. And it was kind of wild because I was only within like a 3-foot area. And one was just like it wasn't very moist, and then one was like super wet, like it has like it'll like you stick it in the ground and then this little thing goes bloop. And it was kind of wild how in a different like I put it underneath a tree and that was this part that wasn't really wet, and then I put it over where there was no tree and it was like super wet. So and you can I shoved it down really far.
I have one with an extra long probe, so
But
you
this was
can
like $6.
go down deep.
Oh,
I
how
was-
far how big is your probe?
it's I don't know. We have that short one, and then I thought it would be helpful to get one that went really deep for our in-ground beds. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how long, or if it's really necessary, but
Yeah, I thought this would be since I'm always wondering, like, whether it stuff need. Well, I definitely knew stuff needed water this year, but
this is mine, which again, I would have never bought for myself in a million years. But there's a lightning deal going on right now if you're interested. It's
oh
digital
my
smart
gosh, that's
bricks
awesome.
refractometer. I know.
Your
I know.
parents love you so much.
They do. Actually, and I sent them a link to something that was not even that expensive. It was like $100, which I still think is a bit much, and my mom's like, "Yeah, they have that out of stock. I picked this one for you." And I'm like, "Okay, that's really nice." But anyway, it's by Shenzhen. And a lot of people I'm finding, I mean, this isn't just for testing tomatoes and stuff, but diabetics use them quite a I'll put the link in the comments, by the way, if anybody's interested. Diabetics will use it to find out, how much sugar is in something, which is obviously really vital to them.
Yeah.
So, all right. If you want the lightning deal, I just put the link in there. But I will again once say the cheaper ones are absolutely fine. And I don't think there's really any difference other than this one's immediate. It's got like memory storage in it, and
Oh, cool.
I can show it easily. I do love it. But
And it also is helpful, like with the 5.6, 5.4, because with
yeah,
this, you got to really look. You're like,
kind of guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's close
It
to
is
5.8.
it is funny how like this is the year of refractometers. Everybody got refractometers this year. I
Yeah.
asked Michael the other day, I'm like, what's the bricks? Because he grew my bananas noir indoors. I'm like, what's the bricks? And he said, I don't have a refractometer. And I was actually shocked.
What?
He's laughing backstage. I'm like, doesn't everybody?
Yeah. I don't.
Um,
That's like having a computer. Like, no, I'm kidding.
but it is like you didn't really hear people talk about bricks all that much
Well, I
last year.
didn't know there
Few
was something
people.
like this until you said something. I was like, what now? I can actually tell what the bricks is myself. And people use this like for making wine and things like that, beer
Yep.
and
And
things.
beer,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yep.
they're easily attainable. But yeah, bricks, I have to say that there are some stuff like tomatoes that tastes really good and then the bricks is really low,
Yep.
and vice versa. Like the
Yes.
bricks can be really high and then it's just gross. Like, so bricks
True
isn't
story.
everything. It's just something fun to play with, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not going to tell you whether a tomato's good.
No. Great point.
So
I think it's helpful for micros, because with micro dwarfs, sweetness is a really big part of the story with micros. And it can help with cherries too, like if you're just looking for a really sweet cherry. But for indeterminate slicers and stuff, I've had some in the fours that were excellent tomatoes.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Um,
You would, yeah. And when the first taste test I used this, I kept getting like fours and fives. And I was like bummed out until I
yeah,
realized like, this is not making the tomato taste like it's not going to tell you whether the tomato is going to taste good. So I just had to get
no,
that out of my mind that this was just telling me how much sugar content is
right,
and how much of that my tongue enjoyed it or not. No, that's
right.
not gonna. So
I mean, we started getting excited, Rob and I, when we saw a slicer that had bricks of like 6 or even above. I think Suffer Well, Bill Yoder Suffer Well was, I think, like in the 8s,
yeah, I think you said
which
like
is
8.6 or something.
unreal, unreal. There was something else too. Oh, the Dwarf Ochre Heart
Art.
was really sweet too. That they were smaller, they weren't really a slicer, but and then Jarson 22, which is this massive thing, that was, I want to say, like an 8 or a 9, kind of crazy. But in
Mhm.
general, they don't, you found too, right? Like 4, 5, 4s and 5s, some 6s maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for slicers.
right.
I didn't really think we got anything over an 8 this year. I might be wrong. Again, I have like so many I have to edit and I'm procrastinating horribly. I have like 30 videos I need to edit.
I'm sure you do.
Vlogs and stuff. Like I'm starting this new series of I don't know if you the national parks. Like I bought this book and it tells you all the national parks, and I didn't know that you could get stamps. Like when you go to the national parks, you get the book and it's got a place where you can stamp, and then they have their sticker. And I'm like, oh my gosh, a sticker book for
So like a
adults?
passport kind of.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It says passport on the cover. So yeah, so I've started to do those, and I've got like 3 little excursions Ben and I have done, and I wanted to make videos of that because it's really
Good
neat. Like
idea.
I didn't know, but I'm procrastinating with that too. So
It's all
we'll
right. Everything in time, my love.
yeah.
Everything in time. You've had a rough season, but that's a good idea. I I often say, like, I do want to go to all the national parks. I'd love to
Mhm.
rent an RV and just go, which I'm sure isn't quite as simple as I think it is, but I would love to do that.
I think there's one in Thurmont, Maryland. It's a hiking because Jade's home, and so we're gonna go hike. I think
Nice.
go hiking tomorrow and get my sticker and my stamp.
There you go.
I'm so simple. There's a sticker involved. I was like, I must have this book.
Speaking of, hi Sue, I'm behind in comments again. Just hi Sue, thanks for being here. Speaking of stickers, John Kramer, the wonderful John Kramer, who's just so generous, and again, he's giving away $25 towards tomatoeden.net. So make sure you type in your hashtag tomato. Hi, Sri Devi. He sent me. He's in my grow out for Jarsons for our group. By the way, we have a group called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. Please join us if you're not a member already. We'd love to have you. So anyway, he sent his seeds in for his Jarson 16, and just being the generous man he is, he sent me a whole sheet of international global forever stamps.
Oh wow.
And then these are forever stamps. Look at these.
Oh,
At first I thought he sent me a sheet of stickers. And then I looked and they are forever stamps.
they're
Aren't
forever
they?
stamps.
They're
They're
forever stamps.
circular.
US
I don't think I've
forever
ever seen
stamps.
circular forever stamps.
Me
Oh, they're
neither.
fun. Look at that.
I
Hello.
know. I
They're
don't even
so
want to use them. They're
cute.
super cool. And on the back of the sheet, it's got like, they're supposed to be buttons. See that?
Oh, what?
So it's cool. Peace, love, fun, sweet. They're the coolest things ever.
Yeah, yeah, I like the one with the rainbow.
Yeah. I wish there was a gratitude one. Oh, speaking of gratitude, tonight's shirt has gratitude and tomatoes on it. I'm blessed from my head to my toes.
Nice.
I had to get it. Of course, the color isn't the most flattering, but I had to get, that was the only color they offered.
Oh, really? Why do they do that?
Thank you, John, for the stamps. Very
Yeah,
thoughtful.
those are really, really cool.
Yeah. I'll have a hard time using them. All right, let's get some more questions.
Yeah, yeah, I can't
Um,
see any of them, so tell me what they are.
all right.
Well, I mean, someone did ask a question on the Facebook group. That was the one about diseases.
Mhm.
It was specific. It said blight resistant tomatoes. Now, I did Google it because I'm not very familiar with, but they, of course, they said there's a lot of hybrids because they're bred to be that exactly. But these are some that I don't think are hybrids. I'm almost positive. And they said Juliet, Legend, Mr. Stripey or Tigrella,
Mhm.
Matt's Wild Cherry.
Wait, is Mr. Stripey and Tigerella the same?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lemon Drop and Jasper. Those are the ones that real
Okay.
quickly I saw. I haven't grown, I think I grew Matt's Wild Cherry, but that was probably the first year I ever grew. I got like on Amazon like a 12 pack of heirloom seeds of different tomatoes. That was my first purchase of tomato seeds. And I believe Matt's Wild Cherry was in that, and I grew it that year. And that's one of those ones that if you grow it once, it's usually pops back up somewhere in your yard as a
Right.
volunteer because
Like
it's like
coyote.
they're like small cherries and
Now that you've grown
prolific
coyote, you will have coyote forever.
everywhere. I'm sure everywhere. I think was I telling just you or did I tell everybody that like I was over there and it
It
like
was just
it's
me.
created it created like if you've ever watched any of my videos at Materville, it's like 2 rows of tomatoes. And I've got coyote on one side, and it has reached over and created like a bridge wall. Like I was almost scared. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Like, and it was coyote. I don't even like it though.
I know, which is a shame. That's my favorite
But
cherry.
but once I found out it was a pimp, I was so excited because Ben loves it now. He's like, oh man, that's cool. It's a pimp. So a pimp tomato is like a wild tomato.
It is. It's got
So
um
it's got wild genetics
wild,
and
yeah. Craig LaHoulier in his book has a whole page devoted just to coyote. He was given the seeds by somebody, I think it's from Aztecs, from somebody in Mexico, I think. So he's responsible, and I'm grateful to Craig for that because I love it.
yeah.
I'm stabilizing a few crosses because not only is it a pimp, it's a hoe. It crosses with everything.
You crack me up. Oh, Ben would have loved to have been here to hear you say that. Oh
Tell him
man.
to watch the replay. Make
He
sure you
thinks he's
subscribe to
good.
Jen on YouTube at Jen
Oh, thank you.
Cordial. And if you could subscribe to me, that would be awesome
Yes,
sauce
come on
too.
now. She's so close to 1,000 subs. Let's get her a
I
thousand
am.
subs.
I think I'm at like 975 or something like that. I'd
Oh
love to get
man.
to 1,000.
Yes.
You crazy
It's
people that'll
so
sit and
like
listen to me talk for 2 hours.
validating. I have made it. Once you get to 1,000.
One of the very first videos I saw of yours before you and I became friends, or like I think we knew each other at that point, but not super well. Although, don't you feel like it was kind of the moment we met, all of a sudden we were best friends?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm like, when were we never friends? I believe that first text message, I was like
Maybe I
sending you
just didn't
pictures
know
of
you
my
yet, but it
garden.
was when you hit 1,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
which I know is a while ago now, but you did like a getting to know me video, which I thought was
Yeah.
really cute.
I kind of do that every year on the anniversary of my YouTube channel now too. So I
Really?
just yeah. I
Very
don't know
cute.
what kind of stuff I'm gonna say this year. Well, that it's not till it's January. The end of January was my first YouTube video. Don't go back and look at the first videos. they, they like if you watch how to start a YouTube channel videos, they all tell you just start. You're gonna
Yeah,
look silly. You're gonna say stupid stuff. You're not gonna know what you're doing. Just put one up. And I tell you, that first time you put one up, you're just like
yeah,
afraid to hit that publish button.
yep,
But yeah, I did
yep.
it. I wanted to do it for like, oh gosh, 10
I
years.
remember you saying that you've always wanted to do a YouTube
I always wanted
channel.
to do it. Like I thought like every time like some of the people that I like to watch, like I got into makeup really hardcore at one point and I was like, I could do a makeup channel. You know, I buy a lot of makeup. I could show people all my makeup. And then I realized that I don't know how to put a lot of it on. Like in a good way. It's basically
Oh,
the
you
same
look
thing. So
beautiful.
thank you. But like for real, like I have a ton of stuff and I use the same crap. It's ridiculous. But and then I thought it could be a workout one because I got really heavy into like weightlifting and working out, running. Like I
I
ran a
remember that.
lot. And then I just never did. And then finally, like I got into gardening. It's like, okay, this is simple. I can show people plants.
And it's best to do it about something you're passionate about.
Hmm.
I just on my Thursday show, I just ramble on for a couple hours about tomatoes because I love it. And obviously there's people, well, like all you guys who are watching us who really love
Hmm.
tomatoes. And I think I said this yesterday during my show. It's a great way to escape from the troubles of life, not only when we're gardening, but these interactive shows. I mean, you were at the show yesterday and you're like
Yes.
part of the episode also. People,
Hmm.
we just talk to each other. We're not cliquey. If you're new, come join us, but we are friendly and we are very generous, especially in our group.
Yes.
Hi, South Louisiana. Did you know South Louisiana and Harley the Swamp Bitch are fiancés?
What?
So South
No.
Louisiana's Mike. Hi, Mike. Glad you're here.
Oh, cool.
Malachite, Jen, you both look great. Love the earrings, Jen.
Oh, thank you. These
Me
were a
too.
gift.
I
I
lost.
think you got them too, didn't you?
I did from
From the
Sean
same person? Yeah,
Nichols.
Sean Nichols.
Yes, I had one in, and I guess at the hairdresser I lost it. Not that one, thankfully, though. A different
I'm
one.
always so
So,
scared to like mention people's names because I'm like, I don't know if they want me to or not.
oh, good point.
Well, no, but I mean,
I
you
didn't say
do, and
Sean Nichols.
I always like, I'm just like, I got these from a friend, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's true.
I
I'm kind of careful about mentioning who I got seeds from because I don't
yeah,
want them hounded.
yeah. Most
But you're
people I
right.
don't think would care, but I'm just like,
Yeah,
you know what I
agreed.
mean? And then there's people that would want you to, like, they,
You're right.
like, acknowledge them. And it's
Yeah.
not that I don't want to acknowledge you. I just am afraid that maybe you don't want me to. So
Right.
maybe it's just better
Right.
to just say a friend.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I
a good
made that
point.
too complicated.
Yeah. And I'm careful too about stuff we like
Overthinker
people
here.
will say in the group because we're a private group. So, and this is a public, entity, our lives. So I'm always careful with that too. Jamie wants to know what's the smallest container you've grown dwarfs in. I assume you mean regular dwarfs, Jamie, and not micro or mini
Oh,
dwarfs.
I was
Um,
gonna say I grew a micro in a 3 point. No, a was it 2 by 3?
oh, right.
I stuck not a volunteer, sucker in a couple of, what was the one that you gave me? B times Macbeth.
Hmm.
And then I forgot to up pot it and it gave me some tomatoes.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
do.
look at that. But as far as a dwarf, 5 gallon, I think this year, 5 to 7 gallon. It's probably the smallest I've ever done.
That's generally what I grow dwarfs in is a 5 gallon. But like I tried last year with for Micropalooza Tutti Frutti Mandarin, which was not a micro or arguably not even a mini dwarf.
Hmm. Hmm.
I grew that I think in a 3 gallon container. I'm attempting Nano's meatball dwarf indoors.
Are you?
I am because it didn't get one got to be like 27 inches, one got to be 24. So I'm going to try it. I found that, and I know Jen, you'd probably agree that they'll still produce. They
Right.
just won't produce as much. So
And you
I
got to
really,
water more often. And
yeah.
if you
So I'm
don't
going to
have like,
try Nano's. Probably right now it's in. Um, Actually, right now it's in a 1 gallon. I would go up. I want to see what it does in a 2 gallon and go from there. But so far I haven't. I guess the Tutti Frutti Mandarin, I want to say that was 3 gallon. But we shall soon find out. And if all of you out there, if you want to answer that question too, please feel free to
oh
put it in the
yeah,
comments.
jump in. Put it in the comments that I can't see.
Oh, that's a bummer. I wonder why.
No, I'm so angry about it. I think I'm up to like 20 comments. Like it must, I don't
Weird.
know. It's never been like that before. I feel like I was able to see them all before. StreamYard, you are just getting on our list today. So
They're punishing me because I wrote something not so
all
nice
I have
in
to
the
say about
StreamYard
that.
community group.
Yeah. Well, they
Um,
deserve it.
oh, and Michael, he starred that comment of Jamie's for us. Thank you, Michael. Um, Malachite Jen says, I find tomato texture suffers if nighttime temps get too low, even if the plants aren't frost killed.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I was telling Jen
Mhm.
that before the
We
show,
were-
like, even though it's only early September, generally we don't get our first frost until mid-October. But for me, it's the plants are acting end of season right now. The fruits tend to get a bit scabbed. And when I pick them, they're not lasting very long, and the taste is definitely different. So yeah, end of season tomatoes. So, and we were also talking, Jen and I, before the show, like sometimes I'll review something in the beginning of the season. I'll be like, it's okay. And then towards the end of the season, I'm like, wow, this is like a different tomato. So I think it is important. You had said that, Jen, to kind of review end of season also.
Yeah. It's
Kim says it looks so good, Jen. Did you taste some of those? See, I'm
oh,
really far behind.
and
This is
it's
probably the
130.
Kazulas. Yeah,
It's
Lisa said.
136. I was wrong. It's not
Oh,
137 or
okay.
139. It's 136. And I don't know if I have even taste tested this one. I may have. There
You
was
want to do it now?
I did yeah, let's do it. I don't have a cutting board, but I'm just gonna make a mess of this. I do have a knife. But we'll just
Keep putting your questions in, gang. Oh, I see a
oh,
bunch of starred ones coming up.
making a mess.
Oh gosh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, I can't
Wow.
eat. Woo.
That's
Yeah,
gotta
that's
be
pretty.
good.
It smells good.
That's gotta be good.
See, yeah, mine's starting to get like, even though it's gorgeous, like the top of it, like,
Yeah. That's how mine are all looking right
and
now
it
too.
gets like these weird, funky marks on it. I
Yep.
doubt that those marks are
I don't know what
supposed
they're
to be
called. I
there.
call them scabs. I don't know if that's what they're called or
All
not.
right, let's give this a go. I don't want to get any of the weird stuff.
It's gotta be good.
Oh my gosh, it really is. Oh,
Rowena
so
says, Jen, that looks amazing.
that is so good.
Everybody's commenting, wow.
Mm. Oh yeah,
Thanks, Michael.
it's acidic. Um, got a little bit of like, it's not my favorite, my most favorite Kazula. I had some really good ones,
Me too.
but it's got a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very sweet. Now I made a mess of myself.
Nothing better than tomato mess.
But for as ridiculously diseased that this plant is, I'm surprised this tomato tastes decent. I wasn't thinking that it would be. Oh, it's a little over a 5. I would say
Wow.
5.1,
That's
which
impressive.
blows my mind because it doesn't taste all that sweet.
See, and that just proves your point. You just
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna
So that's 139, is that right? No,
136.
136. And
Mm-hmm.
I grew one that you gave me a plant of, I want to say it was like 133 or 233. Now I'm forgetting.
Yep, I just wiped my hands on my pants.
It's got to be done.
You saw that?
It's what I do all day long when I'm outside and stuff. Now I have to look up.
I see Ben and Jade do that all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop that. And there, I just
Oh, I
did it
do it,
myself.
especially in my Duluth overalls. That's what they're meant for.
You say your boobs.
I don't have, never mind. I won't get into that.
I do the face wipe thing with my shirt. Like when you're all sweaty and gross and dirty, and just take your face and just wipe your whole face off. This part of my shirt gets so nasty in gardening season. I look down, and I'm like, I look like a little kid. But
I'm trying to figure out the Kazuli plant you gave me. I thought it was 133, but no.
well, I did
No.
grow 137 and 139. That's why it was throwing me off.
Must have been 2 something.
I was
Or
surprised.
222.
I got like 4 of them.
You gave
They
me
were all clustered
222.
together. I was just like, hey, y'all.
It's already in my, you can't really tell, but that's the one you gave me, 222.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a great producer for me, but it was tasty.
Yeah, I can't remember if we taste tested that one or not. 222. I gave that to you.
Yeah, at our meetup in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right, because I got seeds from someone and I planted a bunch of them and I didn't need that many. So I was like, what do I have extras of? Let's.
And Isle of Capri, you gave me Isle of Capri.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a lot from it. That's another one that got the bacterial wilt, but I got enough that, and I know you didn't get any from that, right? Sorry. Well, I was excited for that because Rob and I went to the Isle of Capri last fall in Italy.
Yeah,
Missy wants to know, do either of you do cover crops? What do you do with your soil and grow bags?
I never have done cover crops, and I know how beneficial it can be to like feed your soil. But I don't know why I've never done that. I usually um have mine covered in wood chip mulch. Or winter crops. If it's not covered with wood chips, it's got winter crops in it.
Yeah, I don't either. I did have to pull those few plants out from bacterial wilt early in the season, and I did plant some beans in there because I heard that bean plants can be really beneficial to nitrogen in the soil,
Yeah, I
I
think
think.
they add nitrogen.
I just figured like I've got all summer here, I may as well put something in its place. But in general, I don't either. And for me, I think I'm just so tired by the end of tomato season. I just kind of want to be
Right.
done. But I, like you, I know how beneficial cover crops can be.
Yeah, I've never done it. Mm. But I will say this, I started more beans. Like surprisingly, I was trying to I grew some beans and I wanted to save seeds from them. And I had enough in the bag. I was just like, "Whoa, my bag's full. What do I do with these?" So I cracked those open and put them in the ground. I was like, "We'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll get some more beans." And they came up. Like, I was just like, "Oh, I've got new beans!" But I'm excited about those because my growing season has just been, and like all the Swiss chard and the Mizuno that I said's popping up like
Mhm.
in the grass. I'm like so excited. I'm like, "We got rain. This is what happens when we get rain." Like, thank you, universe.
I
You
planted,
abandoned me this summer, but you're coming back for me in the fall. Yeah.
that's right. The universe is gifting you with good crops for the fall because you
Hmm.
suffered in the
And
summer.
maybe I'll get some broccoli and cauliflower this winter.
Oh, I hope so. That would be nice. I've got some really cool looking cauliflower, like purple graffiti I looked for
Yeah.
forever.
I keep
And
trying.
maybe I should try again. I mean, and now it's
Oh,
too
yeah.
late for the fall for me, but um, I would like to try again because that one's like uber. I saw that on James Prigione's channel, the purple graffiti, and they were out of stock everywhere. It's a hybrid, but I did find it last year. I just haven't planted it yet.
Yeah.
Um, I did plant, this isn't tomatoes, but I have two birdies raised beds with potatoes.
Ooh.
And I intentionally got early to mid varieties this year because I wanted to do two harvests. And I am doing that, even if the second harvest is just smaller potatoes. So I've done that. So not cover crop, but I'm excited that I was able to harvest the really nice potatoes that I get from Wood Prairie Farm in Maine. I love them and I love their potatoes. Um, so I'm excited to get two generations of that. Love
Are they
potatoes.
fingerlings or are they regular size
They're
potatoes?
regular. I think Yukon Golds
Oh,
and
wow. Very cool.
um, red Adirondack red, Adirondack blue, a whole bunch of. I like different kinds. I used to be really meticulous about like lining them up and this
Mhm.
variety's here. This now I just throw them all in. It's just easier.
Yeah.
Kind of digging for treasure.
Uh-huh.
Karen's got a good question here. Um, Lauren and Jen, how did each of you get from I like to grow tomatoes to where you are today as super devoted tomato heads? Great
Well,
question.
I would say mine started with Roots and Refuge Farms YouTube channel.
Mm,
When she started to show all the different kinds of tomatoes, and like I like to watch people eat, and when she would like eat a tomato, I was just like, I want to eat that tomato too. So just gardening in general, she kind of pushed me to decide that I wanted to start growing fruits and vegetables.
mhm.
And my first year, like I said, I got that packet of heirloom tomato seeds, and it was a banger year for me. I tell you what, like I was just like,
Yeah.
whoa. And they always say sometimes your first year gardening is like that. You like get, and then the next year it's not at, and you're like, because the pests don't know you're there. and then
Oh, I didn't know
they
that.
find you. Yeah, it's usually like the first year you don't have those kinds of things
Interesting.
that want to attack your kale or your cabbages
Right.
or um and so your first year is usually really good. And I had melons that I actually was able. I've never been able to grow melons since.
No, I've tried a few times too.
But like I was just so I did so well with tomatoes and they were so good. Like I
Yeah.
remember Ben telling me, I don't know why you're growing these. You know, you can get them at the same thing you hear from everybody. They can't taste that much different
Yeah,
than
right.
store bought. Blew his mind.
Yeah.
Like I blew his mind. And Jade's, but like, yeah, there's like anytime now, like we just flick tomatoes. Like even when you go to Italian restaurants, it's like, what are you doing? You're Italian restaurant. Can't
Yep.
you like but um and then a couple was it 2 years ago? I found a Facebook group. We won't say its name because
No.
it's awful. It's awful and it's awful. But but there were people in there that weren't
Right.
and they were like over the top tomato people,
Mm.
and then you start trading and sharing, and then it got insane for me
You
after
feed off
that.
of each
Like,
other, right?
and then like people liked seeing pictures of my tomatoes as much as I liked looking at their tomatoes. And so and then I you just you have to have them all and you
Yeah,
want to taste them all, and you're like, what if that one tastes better than the best one I've ever tasted? And
right.
like you just and then there's these new breeders. Well, the breeders aren't new, but they keep bringing like Bill Yoder keeps
Yeah,
making new tomatoes. Oh,
I
and
know.
then Tatiana from Tomato Eden. Oh,
Mm,
I mean,
I
come on.
know.
I have a tomato named
You
after
do.
me.
I can't
That's
wait to
so.
grow it.
Oh, yes. I hear you're going to try to grow Lauren inside this winter.
Harley the Swamp Bitch said she's going to try to grow it indoors.
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay,
very
your turn
sweet.
to answer the question because you're because my journey only started 6 years ago.
Yeah, I've been actually thinking while you've been saying yours, it's strange because, I mean, this poster behind me, this was in our kitchen 30 years ago. So clearly the love has been there, but when did I get fanatic? I mean, it's
Yeah,
really just grown so much every
obsessive.
year. We didn't always start from seed. There's a farm not far from us, and you pepperheads may actually recognize the name. When I say it not far from us, it's like 35, 40 minutes, which for where we are in the boondocks is actually not that far. Um, they're chiliplants.com is the website, and you can order pepper plants. They've got a couple thousand, I think, chiliplants.com. But the place is called Cross Country Nurseries. And I remember seeing an ad in the local paper. They had like a couple hundred tomato plants, like different varieties. So we had gone, this is,
Wow.
20 something years ago and started loading up. That's where I first got Coyote. They have this
Oh,
little
really?
pamphlet you could get, and it lists, the
That sounds
different
like a really cool place.
brands. It's still there. And and now I look at the varieties and I'm like, I've
Been
grown
there,
those.
done that.
But it's really a great place.
Yeah.
So that really gave me the taste of what growing like really interesting ones is like.
Yeah.
But when did it get to this level? I don't know. I mean, it really snowballs, becoming a member of groups and then, trading with people from all over the world.
Yes, all over
And
the world. Like I was just like blown away. Like I'm trading with someone from Norway.
yeah, I got seeds
And like
yesterday from somebody in Sweden.
I
Um,
actually, I did a trade, but unfortunately, I don't think he ever got mine. But I did one from South Africa,
yeah, super cool.
and it took a year and a half to get those seeds, but I did get them. I don't think he ever got mine, which is a bummer. But
I just
I
sent
mean,
some.
it's neat to meet people and talk to people, and
It's really great, and
yeah,
getting their regional varieties
mm-hmm,
too.
yeah,
Cindy C, I know you were watching, at least Cindy. I just sent her some seeds. She's in the Philippines. She got them in
Philippines.
2 weeks.
What?
I've had
Well, that's
other
pretty
seeds
good.
that have taken a couple months to get to her.
Right,
So
right, yeah,
the tomato seed gods were loving us on that one.
that's pretty cool.
And then we're going to talk lawn keepers at some point, but
Oh yeah,
this this is a special one from Joseph. Oh, I shouldn't say. A member from Spain.
I, no one has anyone ever said anything to you?
No, but
Well, then keep saying stuff. Don't listen. I need to learn to shut my mouth
no, I'm
and keep my.
I told
my
you I don't like to mention it when it comes to seeds. I don't like to mention names because I don't want
oh,
people
okay,
being
yeah,
hounded,
I
so I
get
never
you.
do either. I
Yeah.
just got excited. A member from Spain. This is a regional lawn keeper that you can't even find info on Google. It's called Ramelet de Cal Papa, which means of the Pope. And so like getting this, and he sent some other regional ones too. It's an incredible treat. So
Yeah.
it's easy to get caught up in those things.
Hmm.
So, but where was the line where I crossed over? I don't know. Handful of years ago. And it just gets, the more beds go in, the more we talk with people like you, the more I get new seeds. I'm like, I have to plant this. And or if I'm told something's rare and going to extinction, I must grow it to save the
Hmm.
tomato.
And
I don't
especially
even know if
with
that answered your question, Karen.
TLC and all the stuff that is available in our group,
Right.
where we've got the guides of the vendors, we've got guides of like different types of foliage like you can just
Yeah.
fall down so many rabbit holes,
Yep.
and you want them all.
You do. You do.
Like let's see if I can collect them. It's like an obsession. It's like my sticker book. I'm gonna have that thing full of stickers, just like I want to have all my binders full of different tomato seeds. I want all 30,000.
You'll do it.
No.
We'll help you. Anthony wants to know, do you guys eat fried green tomatoes? And do either of you peel your tomatoes when you're not doing a taste test? I
No.
love fried green tomatoes. I have a recipe, fantastic recipe that I've found years and years ago. If anybody wants it, you can private message me. I have it written down on like an old recipe card.
I would like to private message you.
Okay.
Ben and I tried fried green tomatoes for the first time last year. I know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And they were okay, but
My recipe, now I
I
had to
didn't crave them.
veganize it since we've gone plant-based, but it's like milk and egg that you beat up and you dip it in flour first, the slice of tomato, dip it in flour first, then in the egg milk mixture, and then to a mix, and I forget what's in the mixture, but I do know that Lowry seasoned salt is in it,
Okay.
mixed with, and I think like some pepper and salt and maybe garlic.
How
And
thick do you slice them?
you go back and forth a couple times, milk and the mix and all that, and then you fry it. I'm not big into things that are fried in breadcrumbs, so this
Yeah,
flour-based makes
that's
it
my issue.
to die for.
I
And I
like
have
fried squash
veganized it.
though. Oh my gosh, I love fried squash.
Oh, me too, and fried squash flowers.
I used to.
Zucchini flowers, have you ever had
I've
zucchini
never
flowers?
tried that, but I want to. I've heard it is delicious, but
Oh,
I always forget.
they're
But
to die for.
I used to stand beside my mom while she was making fried squash, and she'd be putting it on the little, paper towel, and I'd just be sitting there taking it off the paper towel. And there
So
ain't gonna be
good.
any for dinner. I'm like, no, there ain't. Sorry.
Oh, that's a
I
nice
need like the
memory.
whole plate. I was like, you need to make more.
Aw. Do you peel your tomatoes when you're not doing a taste test?
I've never heard of such a thing.
No, me
Why would you
neither.
peel a tomato? Is that like, I know some people peel grapes. Is
Really?
that like a texture thing? I don't know. Like I don't even peel my tomatoes like for my spaghetti. Like when they
No,
go into
neither
a
do
pot,
I.
the skin has so much nutrition in them. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Like with these though, like when they get all weird and goofy,
Mhm.
like those are not gonna be put in a sauce. But like the really
Oh,
gorgeous
really? I
looking,
do.
the
Mine
ones that
don't.
have like the no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna save seeds and then my chickens will get those.
No, I mean, as long as they're not, completely rotting, I put it all in the sauce, and I
Yeah,
use
me
like a Vitamix, and it can't taste the skin. But I do know a lot of traditionalists will, they'll blanch the tomatoes, they'll
right
boil
and
it, and
take
then
the
put it in
skin
ice
off.
water. The skin comes off easily, and then they'll take the seeds out too, which is like Be still my
Yeah,
heart,
the
my
seeds
precious
and
seeds.
goo, like all that has flavor. The skin can have flavor. Like
Right.
with any tomato, everything's different. Like sometimes there's a lot of flavor in the skin, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a lot of flavor in the seeds and goo, sometimes there's not. So, but like when you put them all in a sauce like that, cook it down and get that immersion blender in there. And I
Yeah.
mean, and I don't even mind. Like sometimes you'll see like the little rolled up pieces of skin when some of that
Mhm.
stuff is really tough. Like, you got hard skinned tomatoes, but
Yep.
I don't mind that because I know how nutritious it is for you. And I'm like, why do they, I guess it's like when they can stuff,
Yeah.
uh, it's a health
I've heard
thing.
that too.
I
Um,
still I still can my stuff with the
so do
seeds.
I. So do I. Yeah.
I'm a rebel
Um,
canner.
this is how far behind I am. People are talking about how
Oh, I'm
awesome
sorry.
Craig is. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Can't wait for Craig, says Sasha. Here's another
I bet
question.
Michael's in the background shaking his head like,
Michael, you know us. We can't just
it's
like stay current. That wouldn't be us.
like I have starred or highlighted like 20 things now.
Heidi Smithson says, "What can be done to get tomatoes to ripen on the plants? I've topped them all, but what else can I do? My first frost is due in a couple of weeks."
Hmm.
I don't do anything.
But
Um,
that's good though, like topping and
topping, we did that with some of ours this year. We meant to do them with all, and that got away from us too. And now, because mine, like, they weren't watered for so long, they were like dead, dead, dead. And look, they're coming to life up there, and there's some big
Mhm.
tomatoes. So I'm glad we didn't top them. But I ripen on the counter, even stuff that's bright green. You will be surprised that, I mean, if you have a frost warning and you know it's coming, pick them, and I bet they'll ripen. They
Mhm.
don't exactly taste quite the same, but you'll get ripe tomatoes. I've
Yeah.
found out of most of them, but ripen on the plants, I don't know of any tips other than topping. Do
Yeah,
you?
taking away
That's a good
any other
question.
growths like suckers and things like that will
Right.
take away from the plant putting its energy into ripening the tomatoes that are already there. Just try to take away any new stuff. I
Yeah.
guess. Up and then when you know your frost is coming, go pick it.
Yes. Yeah.
But like wait those 2 weeks if you can. And if it's due in a couple weeks, just keep an eye on it. It might not come for 3 or 4 weeks. You never
Yeah.
know. You might be able to get those ripe tomatoes.
Yeah, and as the season goes on and the nights get cooler, it does get tough to ripen those
Mhm.
tomatoes. It feels like you're waiting forever, where in the summer it just goes like that. Um, Anthony, I see your comment for Bill. I will, if you private message me, we can talk about that because I don't want to share that on the screen. But please private message me just to remind me, and I will do that. Um, Sridevi, how often do you fertilize plants, especially to grow those huge tomatoes?
Well, I will tell you, I'm about to do a book review on how to grow. What is it? Giant tomato growers or how to grow giant tomatoes. I read it on my vacation, the whole book, and
Good beach read.
there was some good stuff in there, and some of the stuff I knew already. Like you want to like keep it to like one to two stems, and then also it tells you to like you really got to pay attention to the flowers. But that's not your question. Your question was how often do you
How often do you
fertilize?
fertilize?
They recommended like every week to be
Hmm.
fertilizing your plants. And they went into detail. Like it was really neat. This book, I'll do the review right now. So I'm gonna do a video on it, but I'll tell you. But like the guy that wrote the book, he talked to a lot of the people that grow giant tomatoes for like the competitions, and so every person had something different, and there was a part on fertilizing, and so each person said what they used, and some of them used like I don't know, like 10, 50, 70, or something, NPK. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know anything like that existed. Like up, that's up there. But yeah, they said, you fertilize a lot, you keep it to one stem, you like look for those mega blooms, and then you pick that mega bloom and get rid of all the blooms around it. And then that the plant can focus on that mega bloom and make it huge.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of lazy sometimes in my pruning because I just have too many. But yeah, I think I might pick like a 10 plants this year and really focus and make sure I do all the things that that book is telling me to see if I can get that 3 pounder. But I think you can get a 3 pounder without doing that if you get the right tomato.
We almost did.
Yeah.
That we've not only did we get to our first 2 pounder, but it was 2.5 pounds. Um, we did nothing to it.
Yeah.
It was just the variety. It's large
Yeah. Right.
membranous,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of forgot about it. And then not only was it a huge tomato, it was in clusters of huge tomatoes. Um, I don't fertilize a lot. If they're in grow bags, I'll do maybe every couple of weeks. But the ones in the raised beds and in the ground, I
Yeah.
really don't do unless the plant is talking to me and looking a
Mm-hmm.
little yellow or something like that. I don't. But
Yeah.
everybody's different.
Yeah. They also,
Plus, I'm in mushroom compost and I fertilize with slow release stuff in the hole, like Neptune's Harvest crab and lobster, mycorrhizal fungi, Neptune's Harvest kelp meal. I feel like there's one more thing I'm missing. Like a humic acid biochar thing. I put that all in the hole, which is slow. They're granulated, so slow release. But the liquid stuff I really was only doing with my grow bags this year. Because the mushroom compost mix, I swear it's like crack for tomatoes.
good
What we're able to
stuff.
get. It is. And unfortunately, not everybody's able to get it, which stinks.
Well, you
Michael,
know,
I think this is a
sorry.
question for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jen.
Go ahead.
Has anyone ever used water soluble calcium? Michael, I won't bring you on the air unless you want to, but if you want to type, I know he uses it for hydroponics. I used it for the first time this year for what I was fertilizing in the grow bags. I used Fox Farm Grow Big, and
Mm.
then Fox Farm has like a Cal Mag. And it was the first time I've used it. Oh, Michael's got something in the private chat here. What does he say? Cal Mag is popular with hydro, yeah. So I did use it in soil stuff in the grow bags, John. Um, is there any particular brand you're looking for? There's a brand just called CalMag, right, Michael? I don't know if that's like the technical brand name, but that's if you Google, I think that's what it's called. But I was using the Fox Farm CalMag, which has some kind of stoner thing on the front, just like all of Fox Farm stuff. Michael says, not the brand, but it's a mix of calcium and magnesium. Oh, he was asking because he's getting blossom end rot. Yeah.
Mm.
That's it's calcium leaching from the soil, but it's due to inconsistent watering,
Yeah.
which causes the calcium to leach from the soil. So unfortunately, often we're just at the mercy of Mother Nature. Um, that's part of the reason why I put crab and lobster shell in the hole to help prevent that stuff. And a lot of times for me, it will happen on some early tomatoes, and it happens to plum tomatoes, I think, more so than others. But I even got some micros that got it this year.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's the variety of tomato too. Sometimes it affects it more. Like it's
Yeah,
the plant itself, it's unable to uptake the calcium from the soil. So if there's a lack of water or just the plant itself is not, there are some varieties that I have noticed I've planted them a few years in a row and they always get more blossom and rot than anything else. Now this year was terrible for me with blossom and rot, but that's my fault. I didn't water at all. I knew that why I was getting blossom and rot. I'm like, okay, well, I can't really say that this is the variety, but there have been some years where I know it wasn't getting watered, or it could have been where I had it. Like for whatever reason, that soil there just was hydrophobic or so. I don't know, but it's the plant isn't able to uptake the calcium from the soil.
yeah.
But yeah, I was going back to the mushroom compost where you
Mm,
were saying that people can't get it. If you look up the components that mushroom compost is made from, a lot of times it's not a lot of mushroom byproduct. It's straw. There's a lot of straw, and then like
Really?
yeah, and then they'll put some manure in it, like cow
Mhm.
manure or
Mhm.
horse
That I
manure.
knew.
So I tried growing stuff in straw bales this year,
Right.
and I had some straw bales that have been decomposing for, I think this was their third year, because I tried it a few years back. I think it was 2020 or 2021. And I had some straw bales that had really broken down. Like they were only like, they were the big straw bales, but they were only like, had a mound about this big. So they broke down. And I just planted some stuff in those. And I did not, like, I think what I planted rhubarb, toothache plant. What was the other thing? Marshmallow, and I just put them, like, it was along the fence line. I didn't water it at all, and you know how bad the drought was for me
Yeah.
this year. And I planted them in those decomposed straw bales, um, and they all look great. They survived
So
all
is it
that.
that
I
the straw breaks
was
down and creates a fungus similar to
that, and it
mushrooms?
help. It just like it stays moist. So there's a
Mm.
thing called, I just watched an Mi Gardner episode where he does, it's called core gardening, I think. And
Oh,
basically he digs these giant, well, not giant, but these deep trenches, like a foot deep, and then he shoves like his old hay that's been he said he goes after the fall, which is kind of what I do. I ask all my neighbors, when you're done with your straw bale decorations, can you just drop your trash
yeah.
off my house? But he fills it with the straw, and then he covers that up with dirt, and
Hmm.
then by the next spring it's broken down, and it just kind of retains, it's breaking down and creating nutrients,
Right.
as well as it's keeping. And that's kind of what a big component of mushroom compost is hay. So I was sitting there thinking, yeah, I mean, kind of makes sense and he was talking about how great the plants do ever since they've been doing this, and how they
Wow.
don't have to water as much, and because they do kind of suck in and hold the water in. But
Interesting.
that's something, I guess, if you can't get your hands on mushroom compost, you can get some straw bales and just let
For
them
sure.
decompose over winter, and
And you
then
can get mycorrhizal fungi. That's very readily available on Amazon. Not cheap. Um, but you can put it like on your roots. I put it on my roots when I pot even my micros. And I swear, since I started using that stuff and the mushroom compost, everything's done amazing. Michael says the bananas noir I'm growing is 3.5 grams hydro cracky. That's just crazy.
that is
This is
nuts.
my
Oh,
tomato, which grows to be a monster. Oh, somebody was asking before about blight resistant varieties. This is not documented at all, but my bananas noir seems to be very disease resistant. This is like a green when ripe tricolor saladette variety that Rob and I stabilized over the years. There's Mr. Tomato Head. Hi, honey. Um,
hi, Rob.
Jen says hi. He's trying to go in without being noticed. He says hi. Um, and it seems, and I know Malachite Jen said something to me too. She's been growing it. I think this was her second year or something, but it seems to be really disease resistant. So the friendly neighborhood pollinator who gave us that gift was doing something wrong, but that's not documented. It does seems to do well against diseases in my neck of the woods. I wouldn't tell you it's a blight resistant variety. Um, we have a new viewer, Heavenly Harvest Homesteading.
Oh, hello.
Just found the channel.
Welcome.
Love it. We grow over 50 different varieties on our homestead this year. Much love from Heavenly Harvest Homestead.
Oh, wow.
We
Thank
welcome
you.
you. That's very exciting.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. If you're not a member of our community on Facebook, it's not like other Facebook groups you may know. This is Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We're really a channel for the tomato enthusiast. We have all kinds of resources. We're all about learning. We do have seed swapping, but that's definitely not the entire picture. We're a group like no other. We would love to have you. Welcome to our channels.
Yes, we have lots of fun in our group. Fun sharing, just fun meeting each other, and growing tomatoes.
Ken says, I want to be addicted, but life won't let me.
Oh, that's so sad.
And Francis wants to know, can we start a support group for those of us who don't know when to stop? With our extended growing season, this group encourages bad ideas. I
Oh,
know. We
no.
we
We don't do
everybody's
that.
winding down and then we're like, let's do micropalooza. We'll grow stuff indoors. I
Yeah.
know.
There
We
goes
are
my basement floor.
we are enablers. Kim
It's so
wants to know, are
much
we
fun
considered crazy
though.
if we spend our Friday nights watching ladies talk and eat tomatoes? I don't think so.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
it's
don't think
great.
so. Sasha says, Kim, if so, I'm definitely crazy.
Yeah.
Kenneth says, maybe, but I like watching them. Let's see if we've got, here's another question from Kenneth. I have a question. I'm in Texas and my weather is finally getting nice and our frost, isn't until November. Should I let my plants stay out until then and see if they may revive? I would.
I would, yeah. I mean,
Maybe,
if you don't need to plant anything else there, but even so, like you could even maybe plant if you were going to plant lettuces or brassicas, you could
yeah,
probably plant them underneath of your tomatoes, and because I'm guessing like the bottom parts of them, the foliage has already died off because you know how they, and then the tops of them get green again.
yeah.
Well, I'd leave them
I've
for
got,
sure.
I have a couple of varieties that really didn't produce much all season long. All of a sudden, they're getting big tomatoes. Rowena, I know you're growing this one too, and I was thinking I think we both agreed it wasn't doing well, but mine all of a sudden is Pomodoro Quar Antico di Aqui Terme. All of a
That's
sudden
a
I'm
fun
getting
name.
big, they look like peppers. They're super cool. It's an Italian variety. That one's,
Ooh.
and then this variety I talked about yesterday on my show, Lietur Espagne Tres Grosse, which really means like Spanish tomato from Albacete, the region of Lietur, whatever. It didn't do much during the regular season, but those two plants and even Bananas Noir didn't do much for me all season. All of a sudden, that's taking off. So
Weird.
very strange, but yeah, I would
Those
keep
ones
them
I would
going.
say don't like heat.
Maybe,
Don't
maybe
like heat and drought.
Kenneth, I would try give them a good kelp fertilizer or something like that with mycorrhizal fungi. I've been a big fan lately of a brand called Bigfoot. It's a mycorrhizal fungi, but it's got like kelp and biochar and stuff in it. If you can get your hands on that, give it a good fertilizing and see, because it's a long time between now and
Yeah.
November for a first
Give
frost.
them a little boost. Yeah, I bet they'll
Yeah,
give you some stuff.
sure.
Exciting. Oh, I'd love if my frost wasn't till middle of November.
And Michelle has an answer too. I had 2 tomato plants survive the South Alabama heat. My advice is to keep it growing and see what happens. I agree. I agree. And then Francis says, I'm on the Gulf Coast of Alabama. I kept my plants alive through our hot summer last year and the same this year. And I had more fall production than in spring. I was picking Christmas. Good
Nice.
advice. Good
Yeah.
advice. Kathy wants to know, what is one person that if you could sit down and pick their mind about tomatoes? I already have.
Yeah.
Craig, for
Craig
me.
Napoleon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I think if I don't know, I would say
Oh,
you.
oh, you shush.
No,
Silly.
seriously, like this, like coming on
Oh,
and talking to you like on this show is like the highlight of my month.
you're
I mean,
silly.
yeah, I would because I don't know. It were just I don't know. I
I
probably
love
would
you.
pick you.
I love you. You're so
I love you
sweet.
too.
Well, I mean, yeah, if I had endless time to sit down with somebody, it would be you too, for
And
sure. I mean, we could
Kina.
just, what?
Oh my
And
gosh, if we
Kina,
could get
the
with
3 of
Kina
us,
because you guys are just so
and Michael. We had the 4 of
uh,
us on 2 weeks ago
yeah,
during my show. It was
yeah.
amazing.
I need help with crack key.
Michael's laughing backstage.
uh,
Me too. I am growing the quick snack cucumber out of there, though. I picked 2 big ones.
in crack
Also,
key.
I forgot about
It's impressive.
Jarson,
Oh, Kazula.
and Kazula, Anna
Oh, Anna
Jankowski.
Jankowski.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
wonder if she speaks English.
I don't know, but we need to reach out.
Oh, yeah.
I
How
will.
would you do that? Because I like tried looking her up, like just Googling her, and I got a bunch of Anna Jankowskis, but I'm pretty sure they weren't the breeders.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we know of a couple people that could get us in touch.
Oh, really?
Well,
Ooh, please, yes.
I bet somebody like Tatiana would probably know,
Oh, that'd be so cool.
right?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Um,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
and
great.
and Jarson's name's Jarek, and he emailed me in the spring. A member told him about my obsession with him, and he emailed me, and so I'm totally fangirling. We said we would
You're
actually hook up
lucky.
and talk at the end of the season, because I asked him, "Do you have 6 and 32 and 33? Because I don't." He actually didn't either. He had one of them he was growing out this season,
That's
so
crazy.
that was like that
That
blew
was
my
really
mind.
cool. Yeah, I
But
remember you messaging me. I was like, I think she's peeing her pants.
yeah, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. But also, again, go back to Craig. Craig LaHoulier is just the most easygoing, knowledgeable, really nice, genuine guy. I think he wants to be like just on the team with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take him.
me too. Lisa wants to know, where do we get the info on where and when seed swaps are? That's a great question. There really
Yeah.
should be one central place, and I don't
There
know that
really
there
isn't. Yeah,
is.
I don't know that. Maybe that should be one of our guides.
Yes,
I'm gonna write it down
good. That's a great idea.
because I know of like 5 off the top of my head, and like they're usually around the same time every year. So
Yeah,
that'd be good to just keep updating that and say this one's. Oh yeah, I'm
and you
sure
and I were
it
talking
takes.
about doing one, after we met in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which was centrally located. We both drove 2 hours to meet each other back, when was that? April, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We talked about maybe doing that same location and doing a seed swap. So, but yes, Lisa, that's a great idea. Thank you for asking that question. I think
I'm sure that it won't be like all inclusive because of course there's always like smaller ones
right,
like your local library and things like that. I
right,
mean, there are you're like if you check your extension office
right.
like locally, there's probably one that's just like a small but like I know of like the bigger ones. Um but that's only because like I'm part of their Facebook groups. like
Right. If
but they're
anybody
like
knows
far
of like
away, like
a
the one we
central list that has a lot of them listed, maybe like Seed Savers Exchange, I don't know if they have anything, but let us know,
yeah, I'm
because
gonna look that up.
Jen and I are serious. We would love to provide that as a resource for members of Tomato Lovers Collective for sure.
Yeah.
Kenneth, yes. How about the paper bag method? Does that work with green tomatoes? Yes, it
Oh
does.
yeah, yeah, it does. Hmm.
My malachite box, or malachitовая шкатулка. I know you love when I say that, Jen.
Yeah, it's
Um,
nice.
I lost that early in the season. Thankfully, not until after I created my very first cross with it, which was exciting. Um, but I lost that to bacterial wilt, and I had nice big tomatoes on it, put it all in a paper bag, and they all ripened. Didn't taste quite the same, unfortunately, but they do ripen.
Yeah.
Deborah, how many tomato varieties do each of you have?
Like seeds? Like how many tomato
Oh, is that what you
seed
mean, seeds, like
varieties?
in our inventory, or what are we growing?
Yeah, how many
I'm
we're
going
growing
to
this year?
She probably means varieties do like in our
Like,
inventory.
oh, I don't even know. Not anymore. I don't even know. I was actually today trying to organize my drawer because, of course, over this spring and summer, it all went to crap. Like, just everything got thrown in there, and I have like 3 orders from Tomato Eden. I have the bag from the MMM swap I haven't even looked at.
Yeah,
The one from Graf Samina. Like, I don't even
yeah,
remember what I bought from there. And just like, different trades and stuff. Like, I usually doing a video each month of like showing doing
right.
my trades. And that doesn't happen in the summer. Even though it was an awful year for me, I was still just tossing stuff in that drawer and it's a big mess, and I was trying to get everything. And then of course like I have my box of everything I did start, which is like 500 varieties, and
Right,
now I got to go through those and put some in the seeds have already grown binder, and then some are going back into I got to regrow these because they crapped out on me before I got anything. So but yeah, it's like I need to get organized because it's just driving me
it
nuts.
is.
Every time I open that drawer, I'm just like, what is going on in here?
I'm trying to look at my spreadsheet here,
You
but
you have yours numbered, right? I'm pretty sure I
I
have a piece of
do,
glitter in my eye.
but I
Okay.
have, uh-oh, but
I
I
think
have
it
a
went to
huge
that.
drawer like you, and a whole huge stack of things over here that I haven't logged yet. So everything I have logged. I'm still scrolling here. I'm just going to say it's a couple. I have a couple thousand.
I'm still scrolling,
Um,
scrolling,
and now it just
scrolling.
timed out because I was scrolling
Yeah.
too much. I think I have logged.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I have logged
And I want more.
1,600. And that's not in Jarsons. There's another.
Okay, I got the
There's
piece.
another 101 Jarsons. 187 Kazulas, and then micros. It's a couple thousand for me.
Yeah.
It would be too hard to say. 2,000 or 3,000 probably.
I bet it's more.
I think you might be right.
I'm sitting here thinking
because with micros, I've got another.
It there, friend.
Yeah, it's just another 300 micros I've got.
And the fun thing about tomato seeds is they can be like 80 years old and you can still try.
I know.
Every once in a while, you get that 80-year-old seed to germinate. That's why tomatoes are like the one seed. Like I think carrots, and what else is like not. Like I don't remember, like beans, they're only like a few years I think to get good germination or something.
Yeah.
I think it's 5, but like tomato seeds, there's definitely lots of instances where people find a tomato up in their grandma's attic.
Yep.
And attics are not conducive to like the best place to be
No, they get
storing.
hot.
And yeah, so you're supposed to keep it in a cold, dry, all that, keep from the light. But I guess the attic's good for that. But like, and they still germinate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. I know.
Yeah.
Olivia says, I found an easy way to compost. I throw all my rotting tomatoes into my beds and bury them. Lazy way. I do the same, Olivia.
Yeah.
I do the same. Let's make sure we're not missing any questions here. You guys have any more questions?
Oh, there was one on the Facebook post.
Another
one that said the most productive plants. So for like this year, I can tell you right off the bat which ones are most productive, really heat resistant, and really drought tolerant. Like I can tell you.
Would that be coyote by chance?
It would, but I don't like it.
No, I know. It's always the ones that you don't like that are most productive. Or for me, like the cuckoo plants, the ones that aren't true to type, it seems like.
Yeah. Like I've got Groovy, which Groovy is supposed to be green, like a green cherry. And I planted, I think 2 Groovies. And the one, it's the same shape, but it's like a pale, I don't know, it's a really neat color.
Huh.
But it's red, like a red pinky color.
Interesting.
It's very tasty, but that thing is crazy productive. So I was just calling it Groovy variant. But yeah, like I got a lot of tomato, but like those are like, that kind of stuff, it's hard to trade.
I know.
Like, what's a Groovy variant? I don't know. It's just something that I got.
It is. And then, but I think if you designate it that it's a cuckoo and you don't know, like it may not grow true to type for next year, because I've got a couple cuckoos too that are actually really good tomatoes. So I'm saving them. I don't intend on offering them up for trades, but if people see them on my list and they want to try them.
Because some people are just looking for something that's really productive.
Right.
They don't necessarily have to have all of the tomatoes like we do.
Right.
I want the real thing.
Yeah. Like I grew what I thought was turtle purple this year, which is a Phil Seneca variety. They turned out to be these small, round, red, like globe tomatoes that taste phenomenal. They're definitely not turtle purple, and they just keep going and going and going. They taste really great. Yeah, there's a couple, and unfortunately, your black Milo was a green when ripe, and
a couple of people it was like that.
I know, but it was a really good one. I'm
gonna try growing from my saved seeds as well and see, and also from the ones that I bought, and see like why did it do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it crossed with something. I mean, it was actually better than green Milo. It tasted better than green Milo.
Yeah, you had said that. Yeah. And I was disappointed with green Milo.
Yeah, me too.
Like, what the heck? I was so excited for it. That was like my most anticipated.
Yeah, I know. I had a couple of those.
And then I tasted it and I was like,
Licia says,
I want
welcome
black
Heavenly,
one.
join TLC. It's amazing. Thanks, Licia.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Um,
More of my most productive, I would say Jarson 23. Heck, oh my
mm,
gosh. I think I took one off yesterday. It was kind of split and gross, but it's still trying to produce chocolate stripes.
oh
That
yeah,
one's very productive and delicious.
I grew that a couple of years ago.
Irish Pink was probably my most prolific of all like the Irish ones that I did this year. Nemu variegated. So
Oh yeah, I grew that last year.
it's a dwarf too.
Right.
And it's really pretty,
Yeah.
variegated. And oh my gosh, so many, so many. It's like a smaller size. I don't even know if you call it a slicer. Was yours mine were like
No,
big
from my
salad
memory, they were
salad.
like saladette, weren't
They're
they?
like small, tiny slicers. Like
Yeah.
because they were kind of odd shaped.
Right.
They weren't like that one was really prolific. Kiwi
Oh yeah.
is another one that was really prolific, but it wasn't very good. Kazula, like it seems like some of my most prolific. I'm just like now Jarson 23, that's the exception. That one was oh my, that was so good.
Yep. For me too.
Kazula 141. Out of all my Kazulas, I think that's the one that I got the most tomatoes from. And it was pretty good. Vernissage yellow, it's still producing. The plant looks like
Good.
hell. And
So
then
you're still getting
sunrise jazz.
tomatoes.
Yeah, but they're not.
Yeah.
Well, Vernissage yellow is not that great. So
Oh.
I'm like, but yeah, that and sunrise jazz. That's another one that like
Yeah.
the plant that I had over in Materville before everything else got eaten. I think I took like in one day like 10 tomatoes off of it.
Wow.
So that was impressive.
Um,
So if you want to
I
know
mean,
which ones I have lots of seeds for trade, that's them.
the horrible Santinus that my son picked out,
Yeah.
that thing is just,
Hey, he picked out the large membranous
he did
one
pick out the
too.
large membranous, but that sand penis is an incredibly prolific plant. It's horrifying. Every time I go by it, I'm like,
My Peter pepper doesn't look like a Peter. I was upset.
no.
No.
There's a variety called Kenai Mondo Green I got from a member in the UK. That thing was early and it is still pumping out fruits. It's really incredible.
What's its name again?
Kenai, Kenai, Kenai Mondo Green.
Mondo Green.
That's a really good one. Mentioned Sam Penis already, the turtle purple thing. Pretty much all of my Jarsons were unbelievable. Jarson 7 Fire, I'm calling it. Jarson 12-1, Jarson 22 and 23. Jarson 4, Jarson 5, 2 of them, the Jarson 6. I mean, they're really like all the Jarsons, the productivity for me was great. They're kind of just about all dead now, except for 2 of the Jarson 1s. Yeah, for me this year, honestly, I sound like a brat, but it's almost like what wasn't productive. I wish I had gotten more off of bacon, lettuce, and this.
Brat.
I know, sorry, I sound like a brat, but we had a really good year.
Yeah, I had a really good year last year, so
Yeah, you did.
I guess I
You
was
did.
in for a gut punch.
We all need those to keep us humble at times, don't we?
Yeah,
And to kind of
like
recenter and
I
reevaluate
thought I knew what I was doing.
things.
Clearly, I don't. No.
Pretty at Grow, Cook, Eat, Repeat wants to know, does growing hydroponically affect tomato flavor? Does it make it watery or less sweet? That's a question for Michael. Mike, you going to answer that for us? You got to answer that for us because I'm not qualified. I try it. I'm better growing peppers and cucumbers hydroponically than I am with tomatoes. Although my
like that CalMag, right? Doesn't that help with flavor?
It's supposed to, yeah.
They have things that you can add to it. Like I think there's like one that's like sugary or something. I think because I bought stuff thinking that I was going to be like really good at it. And
yeah, me too.
So
Same.
I have all these things.
My Mighty Mini Green, or yeah, that's what it's called. Mighty Mini Green. No, not green. Mighty Mini Micro. Why am I doubting that? Mighty Mini. That tastes actually still good in hydro. But all right, Michael, what does Michael say? He says he can hop in to answer. Let's bring on introducing Michael Kelly. Hey, Michael.
Hi.
Hey, Michael.
All right, it's a little dark in here. Okay, so the answer kind of simply is yes and no. If you just get something like an Aero Garden and just use their nutrients, a lot of the time, if you follow their directions specifically, you will end up getting less than ideal flavor out of it. But what I've found is if you like load up on the nutrients, obviously look at your plants and see like what it's telling you, because if you have too much, it'll tell you as well. But if you get like a 3-part nutrient, so like A, B, and C, or 1, 2, 3, or whatever, you have ones that help with the foliage, so it's a lot of nitrogen, gets the plants growing good. And then there's micronutrients, which is like your calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, all those little things. And then there's a third one called bloom, and I add that when it's like at the flowering stage. And if you use all of those together, it shouldn't lack nutrients at all. And then if you feed it again the day before harvesting, I found that makes a huge difference for flavor. You get like much more of everything if you do it the day before you
Feed it with what the day before?
either the micronutrients or the bloom one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think we need a guide for that in our group.
It's a good idea.
You know of anybody that would be willing to write that?
Probably think of somebody.
Seriously, that's really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, 'cause
interesting too.
I know a lot of the, let's say, off-brand hydro units, they come with the AB nutrients.
Right.
And those are good too, because the B is CalMag, basically.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, me neither.
So that's good. If you only have those two, add that more than the A one for sure, once they start growing and blooming and stuff. But definitely feed them the day before you harvest. That has
So
made a big
interesting.
difference for flavor for me.
I got, you know, because I love Fox Farm, I got like their liquid stuff. It's Grow Big. Was it Tiger Bloom? And there's like a whole recipe for them.
Yeah.
Can you just combine them all in one like container and just feed? Because it seems like a pain to do all. You can't.
So you can, but I don't know the science of it that much. People say that you shouldn't be doing that. That you should like add them at different periods, because once the plants have fully grown, you don't need that much nitrogen anymore.
Right.
Right. So there's no use in adding a bunch of nitrogen
True.
to create more leaves that you don't need. But definitely the other ones, once you get out of that nitrogen, I think you could probably just mix them all in it. Just look at your plants. They'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's what I do with the stuff in soil, but for some reason I freeze up when it goes in water.
I can try to help.
All right.
I'll do my best. I'll help you, Jen, as well with the cracky stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm growing the bananas noir in cracky, and that's
That's crazy.
doing crazy. Like, I don't know how, but
I
it's
think a
working.
monster.
I think I just need to add, like, I think you told me add hydrogen peroxide to the water, since there's actually no,
Really?
like, isn't that right, Michael? When you're doing cracky,
I've added hydrogen peroxide before if I've like messed up with the watering schedule and like started to drown it, because hydrogen peroxide just turns into oxygen once it enters the water.
Oh.
I can add a little extra oxygen. Or what I just bought is a little aquarium pump that has like tubes coming out of it and then an air stone, and you can just throw that into your container and it'll just bubble and create oxygen. So I'm going to try that with Nano's meatball. Once Bananas Nora is done, I'm going to switch it out and then add in and see how that goes inside.
Very cool.
Cynthia says, I've always thought that there would be no true way to completely replace everything the earth has to offer regarding hydroponics.
So far, everything I've grown in hydroponics has grown. The hardest thing has been beans. I think it's something to do with the fact that it creates its own nitrogen. So I think when you start adding more nutrients, it messes it up. But yeah, everything else that I've grown has worked.
That's pretty cool.
Missy says that thanks a lot. Thanks, Michael.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your show. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, our wonderful producer, Michael Kelly, everybody.
Does all
Keeps
the
us on our
behind the
toes.
scenes cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa says, Lauren, my alpaca looks just like your your nasty plant or tasty plant. Looks just like my nasty plant. I'm thinking you meant tasty. If not, I want to know what your nasty plant or what my nasty plant is. I saw something else here, I think. Nasty. What's my nasty? Oh, my sand penis.
Oh.
Really? I didn't find that with alpaca. I grew it a couple years ago. Yeah, I got it. It takes me a while, Teresa. It's late and I'm old. Oh, and Deborah, my year's just starting, and I'm so excited. We're so glad you're here, Deborah. So we're a little over. We're going on 2 hours. So make sure you guys put in hashtag tomato. And see, we have 66 live viewers, but we only have 47 entries right now. So type in hashtag tomato. If you did it right at the beginning of the episode, do it again. Because I hadn't set it up yet. And I'm not sure if that I think it doesn't make a difference, but I want to make sure everybody gets it in hashtag tomato. Got another minute or two. Here they come. Justin says tomato plant so good it's nasty. So before we do the drawings, if anybody has any last questions they want to add, we can answer them quickly. Everybody's thanking Michael. Thanks, Michael. Make sure you mark on your calendar October. I only said it 50 million times. October 4th, Craig will be back with us.
Yeah. Do we know what we're going to talk about with him yet?
He did say something, and I'm forgetting what it was. It was something like end of season.
Oh, yeah.
Lessons or something, but I'm forgetting.
Stuff that you learned. Yeah. I learned you should water your plants. When Mother Nature won't do it, if you don't,
I don't know.
I have someone put in a question. I have a question about tomato plant. It looks like something ate the middle of the vine, left the outer skin of the vine. Part of the stem looks hollow. Do you know what caused it?
I don't. I know I have problem. Oh, Michael found the comment.
Oh, thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. I missed that one. Sorry, Craig. I have been having a really tough year with the tomato stink bugs. I don't know if they do something like that, but they burrow holes in the fruit. I don't know if they do that or not. That's a very good question. I don't know. I know,
I've never,
you can look for disease and stuff by, slicing open the stem, and you can look inside what's in there to find out what types of disease there are. Oh, Licia, I had army worms eat the stem. Maybe they're army
worms. He
and
said
Haley said I had a couple of, what's that?
He said that the outer stem was left. So they burrow in and eat all the guts from the inside of the stem.
It sounds it. Haley says I had a couple of tomato plants that the stems ended up hollow. Interesting. Sasha wants to know, maybe a vine borer. Maybe.
Yeah. Like a squash vine borer.
That's what I was thinking.
Is there a tomato vine borer?
Maybe. Lisa said she never had them till this year.
Just another thing to worry about.
Yeah, I had never had squash borers until this year. I'd never had a problem with zucchini. And then when I was getting, great summer squash and zucchini, and then one day I go to pick one, and all of a sudden the entire plant just lifted right off the bottom of the plant. Something ate through it, and it was like all of them.
Don't cut that open. Don't cut it open. Don't find it.
It's gross. And then I was going to do fall zucchini. So I'd starts for them, and I just put them in their place, and those never made it past the seedling stage. Once they were there, they were there. Sathya says there's a vine borer that does that to Rose's hollow stem.
Oh.
Sherva says Michael's a cutie. He is a cutie.
Yes,
He's our cutie. Yes, he is. I can see him blushing backstage. He's on the phone. I don't even think he heard that. All right, let's do a drawing. So
okay,
we're doing John Kramer's $25 from Tomato Eden. And thank you once again, John. For those of you that don't know, John gives something every month.
Yeah, he does. He's so
very
cool.
generous, either books from Craig LaHoulier or whatever. One, I think last month or the month before, I completely forgot the poor guy until the next day. He had offered something and I completely forgot. So this month we didn't. So it's $25 Tomato Eden.
We love you, John. You're
Did
awesome.
we decide what you wanted to give, or are you going to surprise?
I know I'm going to give the Menorah Lutte,
Oh, yeah.
1500 one because it's just super cool.
It
Thanks,
is super
Tina.
cool.
And then 4 other of like productive, fun ones. Like there'll probably be a Kazula, a Jarson, cool things. I don't know, 5 different of like 10 seeds or more.
And
I'll do
give
that
away
twice. I'll do that twice to 2 people.
Oh, 2 people. Okay.
Sure.
I'll give away bacon lettuce and this VD16, which used to be Malachite Elf until yesterday. And then 3 other varieties of your choice. I can help you find what you're looking for. And we'll do that twice also. So we're going to draw 5 times. So let's do, we can save John's for last since his is like the special one. Let's do the giveaway tool here. All right, we got more entries. Poor Michael, he's on the phone. He didn't hear somebody call him a cutie. He didn't hear us all call him a cutie.
Oh, really? Michael, you're a cutie pie.
We'll do mine first and then Jen's and then John's. So if you are the winner of mine, please private message is best if you're on Facebook. If not, my email address is somewhere on here. Here it is, lernie@me.com. And by the way, gang, I don't want to speak for Jen, but I have a feeling she would be the same. If you ever have any questions on anything, microdwarf tomatoes, seed starting, Jarsons, anything, email me. I'm always happy. I don't check as often as I should, but I'm always happy to answer questions or private message me.
Yeah, private message me.
Messenger's better, although sometimes I get backlogged on those too. But please, I'm here to help. I don't know everything, but I know what I know. I know from my own experience. So
yeah, I know my experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do mine first. Let's see. So anyway, you can private message me or email me if you are
same.
winners.
I think I've got my email address now on most of my YouTube videos.
Sasha randomly. Congrats, Sasha.
Yay, Sasha.
We can talk. Okay, and then next one for me. Terry Crafty T33. Yay. Congratulations, Terry Crafty T33. All right, let's do Jen's next. Jen, do you want to tell me what your email is now? I can put it up on the screen in case they're watching on my channel.
My maiden name, Vandervoort, V as in Victor, A-N-D-E-R, V as in Victor, O-R-T 1150 at Hotmail.
Wait, Vandervoort, what was the numbers?
1150.
50.
My 2 favorite numbers, 11 and 50 at hotmail.com.
Okay.
This is the email address I've had since high school. That's right.
I was going to say, where the heck's Hotmail? It'd be like AOL.com. All right.
Lucky
so if you win,
still remember my password.
If you win, Jen, you can email her or Messenger. Also, if you're in the Facebook or if you're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you're not in our group, you really should be. And if you're not on Facebook, you should join it just to be a member of our community.
Yeah.
People
You don't have
all
to
the
do
time.
anything else. Just get on TLC.
We've had a couple people like we've turned down in the group because they've got like a blank profile, and then we'll hear from them and they'll be like, I just joined today because I want to be in your group. So which is really cool. All right, let's give away 2 of Jen's very generous prizes from our Jen Joy. Olivia. Congratulations, Olivia.
Yay!
And second one, you can still put in hashtag tomato if you haven't done it yet. Still have John's big giveaway. Kim L. Gosh, Kim L., you've been winning a lot lately. When you're hot, you're hot.
All right.
Congratulations. Okay. And now let's do the grand prize winner of John's $25 at Tomato Eden. She doesn't even have her new stuff up yet. She's got Jennifer, Lauren, and Kina up, and then like
You
two
should definitely
others.
get those.
Rest of it. So maybe you want to, John will give you the gift card to your email address, but maybe you may want to consider holding off because I know she's got good new stuff coming up. All right, let's give this away.
You're like Leprechaun Rob.
But of course, Leprechaun Rob. Sue Varhan, congratulations, Sue. That's a good one. You're going to love that. And thank you again, John, for your generosity.
Yes,
We're
thank
very,
you, John. You're super generous.
very, very grateful for you. And we're grateful for all of you who are able to watch us live.
Thank you for hanging out with us on a
fun.
Friday night.
Yeah, we've got 70 live viewers right now.
Oh, wow. That's super cool.
And for those of you watching the recording, we value you also. Put a comment
Yes.
below,
Thumbs
even though
up.
it won't be live. Put a comment in whoever channel you're watching this on and say hi.
Yeah.
We'd love to know if you're watching, and
Yes.
we're very grateful for you all. So thanks, everybody. Make sure you mark October 4th. Craig LaHoulier will be back and join our community, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We would love to see you there.
Yeah.
So, my love,
It's
Michael
been
and Michael,
fun.
thank you, Michael Kelly, our producer.
Yes, thank you, Michael. You're
He's just
always
the best.
so
He's on the
great for
phone.
giving
our
up your
resident
time.
Tootie. And I love you, Jen. I love doing this with you every
I love you
month.
too. I love you too. Yep. Nobody else I'd rather do it with. Bye,
Me
everybody.
too.
Thank
Bye, everybody.
you.
See you next month.